What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of the Crane Kicks Lex podcast. We got Dylan here, we got Jessica here. Kyle is still doing his marathon. I don't even know if it's a marathon, it's past that. He is trying to go from the very, very tip of South Korea all the way up to the tip of Sweden, like the northern part. So I don't know. I think this is day 642 of his journey. I know he's been eating lots of beef jerky to keep going, trying to stay hydrated with that new Gatorade, the lower sugar one, because he doesn't want to get too riled up. He's got to stay level. But, in his absence, without us having any sort of update, Jessica's been filling in with more current and more manageable marathon-esque activities. You ran a 5K yesterday, didn't you?
It was only a 5K.
That's why I said marathon-esque. it's within the realm of marathons. Yeah.
My first race in like over 2 years. So
nice.
Not that I am a bit sore because it's been that long, but it was nice.
What was tougher, that or playing rec league soccer past 30?
Oh my gosh, rec league soccer, 100%.
I of course agree. Again, I'm not gonna say I don't. 1,000,000%.
First off, I just want to say Happy International Women's Day.
Heck yes. Let's go. Celebrate women. Yeah. And it was a great day for us to be able to do that out of the stables. It wasn't the result we wanted, but it was still cool being where we had a women's match on International Women's Day. That was definitely a vibe. So yeah, happy International Women's Day. Go appreciate a woman in your life right now. Just go give them a hug or high five or some of Dylan's ice cream that you stole from his secret stash. It's located at 172. No, for real, it's great. We got a lot to talk about because we had a week off and now we're back in the mix. Time change happened. So we'll see what we can do. Of course, those of you guys that are listening, we're moving to a new day. Just so you know, for the time being, my coaching schedule is making it tough to record Monday nights and release Tuesday.
I think you mean our coaching schedule.
Oh, yeah, because Jessica and Dylan are going to be helping out. They're volunteering, so they're going to be helping out periodically. But yeah, Monday's game time, so we have to switch to Sunday. So now it'll be a Sunday recording, Monday release, which I guess makes it more timely, gives you a full-on week to listen between most matches. So kind of look out for that. Let's jump into these things. Okay, first we got to talk about the kit stuff. I know it feels like it's almost old news at this point. We talked last time about the teasers that came out. We were not impressed by what the teasers did for us, but we said we have to kind of like pump the brakes a little bit, wait for the full-on kit reveal to see it in person, get the actual lay of the land before we make that final determination. I've seen them both. You guys have seen them both in all of their glory. How are we feeling now that we've gotten to actually see them fully?
I think Jess should go first. She got to go to the kit reveal.
Yeah. The kit reveal was a lot of fun. There was part of me that was confused why they didn't do it at the club, but I think it was a nice change of pace as far as doing it over at Gray Line Station. So it was a neat atmosphere, and we did find out that the leak was not intentional, and so putting that in perspective kind of helped me be less frustrated with it. And obviously the away kit being leaked, there was nothing left to the imagination there. You could clearly see it. But as far as the home kit leak, once you saw it in person, I guess they didn't leak as much as we thought, because once you saw it in person, it was like, oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Right.
I don't know. I was really frustrated at first, but once I saw them, I was able to kind of put that aside and be like, okay, these are pretty cool. And after seeing all the kits from the other teams, I know, obviously know I'm biased, but I think ours are the most creative.
I mean, I really do like ours now that I've gotten to see them. I agree with you because no matter how you feel at this point about our 2 kits, they aren't just templates. And there are a lot
Mhm.
in the league that are just using templates and being like, "Look at our unique one of a kind kit." And I'm like, I think I've seen that one before, just in different colors. So I do have to give us lots of credit there. The silhouette of horses racing on the home kit,
I thought
that
it was pretty cool.
sealed it for me. I was like, okay, because at first I thought it was just random lines, and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
random lines, that's lame. And then I looked and I was like, oh, there's actually like horses racing, and that's supposed to like indicate motion. The random lines aren't random. Um, so I actually really loved that. And then the bright green numbers and names on the back.
Yes.
I,
Oh my
I know we didn't
gosh.
get, yeah, right. And we didn't get bright green in the kit itself, but that was okay to me. I still think we probably could have gone a little bit brighter with the green, not
Mhm.
necessarily like the neon, but something that was a little bit more intense, to make it stand out and pop and really let you see those horses. Because I feel like in certain lighting, you don't notice them at all
Yeah, for
because
sure.
it's all so dark.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest gripe about it is still could have gone lighter shades, but I love the concept. I love the silhouette of the horses racing. The away kit, I was very much surprised how much better it looked in person than that terrible photo of
Yeah.
who had it? Was it Arturo that
I
was
think
wearing
Yeah.
so.
it? And he was at a funky angle, and it made the kit look really weird. It almost looked like he was wearing a children's kit, and it
It
was
looked like the kid was wearing
yeah.
him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They kinda did him dirty with that leak photo, but, like, in person, when you actually see it, I was like, "Okay, I'm digging that. I can feel the vibes with this." You know, they even added the little touch of the horse tails throughout the whole thing, which was kinda cool. So, I'm feeling much better about these kits now that I've fully seen them. I'm on board with them. We can work with these, and you know, I even said the away kit kinda almost felt like a copy of the
Right.
year one. I still kinda stand by that. I still think it's a bit of a copy of that, and I understand it's for Dixiana Farm and all that, but I will concede and say they did a good job making it different enough and unique enough that it doesn't feel like they just slapped out the same thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I like them. 'em. I'm gonna give these thumbs up for the season.
All right, Dylan.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of them in general. The white one isn't like that bad. I really don't like the spacing of the diamonds, and that's like really the kicker to me. I think
I can see that.
it looks so awkward to me. So I just it's and the fact that like you said we've kind of done it before and like it's kind of it's old hat at this point, sticking to their farm and everything um and the black one I can't really get behind anything with it. I think again it's too dark, we can't really see anything. The green on the front is just like minimal. I think the horse design is honestly super corny. Like it really looks like one of those like corny like nature images you see of horses running in a field, like I think it's and you can't even really see it unless you're like super up close. So what's even the point of having it? The only saving grace about the those jerseys are the green on the back that you can actually see the numbers and names. Other than that, I think there's like no redeeming qualities about it. I really think it's pretty much the same kit we got as last year, except a slight upgrade because of the bright green on the back. And yeah, the white one, like I don't know. Going back to it, I kind of think I could get into it. Like I think it's a little more cleaner. Um, but really the diamonds on the back, the diamonds and the spacing on it really just it doesn't feel very soccer to me. It feels way
Mhm.
like instead of marrying the two, it feels like we're more on one side than the other. You know what I mean? Like instead of being half soccer, half horse racing, it feels like it's more horse racing and less soccer jersey because of that. That's how I feel.
But yeah, and I can see it, but like I'm okay with it because it does mirror their silks, because the silks that they wear are like super wide like that, the diamond patterning, and it looks better than I thought it would. Once I started seeing it on people, I was like, okay, that doesn't look as weird and awkward as I thought.
I will say it looks better on jockeys because they're short human beings. When you see it on football players, or they're bigger people, and the spacing looks way different. So that's why it looks really off to me. It's just like the perspective is just very different.
Yeah, and I'm like I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum with the corny meter on the horses, because I am the type of person, I want you to have character with your kits. A nice, clean, classic looking kit always bangs, but I also like for clubs to do something different and set things apart. And so I don't hate the horses. Like if they were like weird and cartoony, or if it was like a horse with like flames around it and it looked like a 11-year-old's binder from 1996, I would probably be like, all right, let's pump the brakes a little bit here. But I'm okay with it being like that nice, just like subtle, like there are horses here moving. I mean, because at the end of the day, we kind of have to embrace the fact that horses are a part of the club. And so you're going to end up with either something that looks, nature documentary-ish, or you're going to end up with something that's hyper corny or nothing at all. And so I'm okay with like the majestic side of nature documentary-ish,
I understand that horses are like our identity in everything, but I don't think it has to be our whole identity. I think we can, keep one jersey, maybe specifically, dedicated to horses and horse racing and stuff. And then, that's where creativity can flow. I mean, the Oakland Roots, like their kits are so cool and creative, and they have that anime one that's like so freaking cool. And I know that there are so many talented artists in Lexington that have cool ideas and cool branding, like Cricket Press. Like let them get involved and see if they can come up with some sort of design, or just involving the community more in the design, say, I think would be more worth our while, instead of just kind of sticking to the same like things. We're not really thinking outside the box, really. It's the same notes.
I can kind of defend them this year, at least, though, with like the all horses, because it's the year of the
Year
horse.
of the horse.
So this year I can defend that. In the future, I agree. We need to like branch a little bit and kind of see what we can do to make it, unique and involve local or artists. And I think even this year we could have involved local artists somewhere along the way, or maybe we still can with like a third kit. But I don't hate going all in on the horse thing this year, because you kind of have to play it up. You know what I mean? You have to be like, it is the year of the horse, so everything's horse.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think there are mixed feelings on this. I do think overall, from me being terminally online, it seems like people's opinions softened once they saw the actual full-fledged kit and not just the teaser version. So I think this is better than last year overall. If I had to like compare the two, and somebody was like, would you take 2025 or 2026? I would absolutely take 2026 without even
one more maybe waiting though.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume that we probably have a third somewhere out there, or like.
Do you think they're going to do another UK kit? I hope not, but I could see them.
Thoroughblades kit. No. Better be that. That's Year of the Horse right there too. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Thoroughblades. It fits with Year of the Horse. Somebody please make it happen. No, we'll see.
I actually had someone come up to me at the kit reveal and say that they thought that was an awesome idea.
Oh,
that
really?
Agreed that Thoroughblades would be amazing.
It would be sick. It would be so cool. I would absolutely love it if we did that. But who knows?
The retro kit.
Yeah, for real. For real. Oh man. All right. Kits, mixed reviews for us. Again, I know we're a little late, but that's where we stand.
Can we get a green one, please?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
No green for you. Ever. No more.
A lot of the of what we've been told when we've questioned that is that they gather a bunch of different style
Ideas.
together, and then ultimately the ownership picks. So I guess they just don't care that we want green.
A fan contest, like a design contest, would be super slick. That'd be super
great.
Cool. You just open it up to fans and then like take the top, I don't know, 50, and then do like rounds of votes until you get it down to like the top like 3 or something. That would be sick.
I'm gonna put my boy really Kyle up there because I know he's got some good designs.
I'm gonna have my sons just draw something, and then just and they'll be like, "What even is that?"
And I saw
like,
what
that's
they were
us winning the championship, buddy.
Like,
it looks like a bunch of scribbles, and it's like, yeah, because it's chaos because we're all celebrating because we just won. Yeah, no, that would be sick though to have like a fan one. That would be really, really cool. Maybe one day we'll get blessed with that. That would be a really cool way to involve the community, and then also see kind of like what ideas are out there. You know what I mean? What better way to do it than to just outsource it, see who around Lexington can come up with something cool enough to make it worthy of a kit.
Yeah.
All right. Write that down. Let's get into some soccer talk outside of kits. You want to?
Blah.
Do the thing. Want to do
we have to?
Hey, but we could talk about some cool stuff first real quick. So I don't think we got an opportunity to mention it last time we were together, but Andrew Caborn, and then we've also got beside him Garrett Adams, and then who else we got in the mix? Mackenzie Hawkins. We got 3 young talents that just got signed on academy contracts with our pro sides, which is super cool. I think that is really neat. I know a lot of people have been wondering if we were going to sign some academy players and let them be a part of this, and we have, which I think is amazing because that's just building those blocks for the next generation. So I'm really, really hyped to see that we're following it through with that, because it would have been a shame if we'd been doing all this stuff with the youth side of things and then all of a sudden we're just like, but this year we're not going to really mess with it. So really, really cool. You know, even if they don't end up featuring in many matches, it's just awesome to see that they're there. They're going to be training with the team. They still have their eligibility because of, the nature of things. And not a lot of people remember, but there's like special rules with those academy contracts where you can actually go above the roster cap on game day by a certain amount, as long as it's somebody on an academy contract. And we kind of saw that with the men's side this weekend. So I think that's neat. That is something good, right? So it's not all bad. It's not all bad. But now we got to get into it. I was trying to stall as long as I could, but here we are. Let's talk about the men's match. Let's do that. Let's do that one first, because that came first this week. Oh my gosh. Would you have, in your wildest dreams, assumed the game would have played out exactly like the last time we faced Lou City at home? Like almost to the T.
Yeah.
With a brand new team, a brand new coach, and yet still we did the lead by 1, lose by 1.
Yeah.
Jeez. I guess before we get into the muck and the mire of it all, though, was that not like the coolest feeling when we did take the lead and Aaron Malloy sent that laser in? And like for me, of course it's the fans going crazy and us all celebrating together, but also it really, really struck something with me that Aaron Malloy celebrated as hard as he did. He celebrated like he has been with LSC this whole time and suffered every single loss to Lou City with us, because that man like lost his mind the moment he scored, ran up, did a knee slide in front of the coaching staff and the bench, and they were all like getting hyped up. That is cool. We've talked in the past, like we appreciate all the players that have ever played for the club, but we have had some conversations in the recent past about how sometimes there's a few players here and there that it feels like they were maybe going a little bit through the motions. You know what I mean? Or like they were just kind of playing for themselves. And so this year, seeing a player of his caliber celebrate like that for this crest was cool.
Yeah.
That was a cool moment in this match. And then, of course, all of the other players celebrating with him, right? It wasn't like he was just celebrating alone. Everybody was losing their mind.
Yeah.
I think the hush that fell over the Lou City fans and the eruption from the Lexington Sporting Club fans, and then vice versa later in the match, obviously, this made this such an electric match between rivals. Like, we are actually building that.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
There'll be people out there that are like, well, you have to win one for it to be a rivalry. But I kind of disagree in this regard because just the energy alone that this is generating and the way the fan bases are just like coming together in droves. I mean, we beat our record only by like 20 something people for attendance, but still we beat our record.
25, yeah.
Yeah. And like, I know Lou City fans are like, it's only because of us. And it's like, well, yes, because we're in close proximity to you. Like, and that's cool. That's an awesome thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's super amazing that, you know, we have that. And we're lucky that we have that. It's nice to have those rivalry matches that mean something, even when they don't go your way, right? Man, what were you guys' thoughts on this match? I've been talking forever.
Well, Aaron Molloy is a wizard. We said it last episode, and it just continues to be true. And he was clearly the best player on the field for us, and maybe just on the field, period.
Worth every penny.
Yeah. Just everything he does, his passes are very precise. Obviously, he scored the insane goal. And at one point, I turned and talking to you guys, and I was like, why does it seem like Malloy's the only one allowed to shoot? And Tyler, you were like, because he's the only one composed, which is 100% true. He was the only one composed. And yeah, I mean, it also kind of felt like a Darren Powell game in a way to me, because we went up early and then we go into half, and then the opposing team makes adjustments at half, and then it feels like the momentum switches in favor of that team who made the adjustments, and then the momentum definitely shifts that way because they get the goals, and then we're kind of felt like we were subbing too late, making too many changes. We subbed Arturo off, which I think was a mistake. He was playing fantastic. He was very physical. Jacob Green played really well. We were really concerned about the left side, but Jacob didn't play the left side. Joe did, and the goals that were let in were on the left side. Both goals came from the left side. So I really think, we need to work on our left side defense. And even when I remember watching the Atlanta United preseason game, and so many things were coming from the left side. And we had said we needed to get a left back. We need, and it really proves to be true. We really need to work on that left side defense. I thought Semle played pretty well. I mean, it was really a tight game. There weren't too many things where I felt like he had, but he was pretty good. I felt like, but overall, I feel like maybe this was a coaching thing. We need to make adjustments too. We can't just like sit and not think the opponent's gonna, you can't just expect the opponent to gonna take losing, you know what I mean? Like, and they're also Lou City. Like, you have to expect more from that. They're not just gonna sit and take this. They're gonna want to claw back. And I don't know. It just feels like wasn't prepared coaching wise. Maybe.
For me, first starting with just the overall atmosphere. Obviously, I love when we get to fill the stables, and yeah, I think they did a really good job preparing with just the different food options. And in general, it seemed like things just flowed smoother. I love hearing when people are like, "Oh, yeah, I went to the game and it was my first time being there." I still think it was a good idea, even though obviously it wasn't the result we were wanting, having this big of a home opener, because I think that momentum will continue on throughout the season, and I think our attendance hopefully will be our average higher than it did last season. So I think as far as that impact, I think it was a good call. I honestly, I was distracted for a good majority of the first half.
Kids.
Because my son's soccer team, they were all there together, and I just felt like every 30 seconds I was standing up to let a kid go. So I was losing, in that sense, I was losing my mind and trying to watch as much as I could. But I definitely, I don't know, there's part of me too that wonders, I think when we were talking about building the roster and kind of predicting who would be our starters, between Johan and Semle, didn't Johan get more play time or
until the end of the season, and then they swapped out whenever it was like playoff run time, which is interesting, but yeah.
So I was half expecting him to start over Semle. So I don't know that would have necessarily changed how that might have changed the result, but
yeah, I don't know. That goal, the first goal, was just like, I don't know how it got let in.
The margin was so small.
It was so slow of a kick too. Like, I honestly feel like I could have ran onto the field. Like, that's how slow, and I could have stopped it myself. Like, that's how slow it was. So it just kind of like lulled into the net.
And I wonder though if that was if Oliver expected, I don't know, I keep going back to Semle, Oliver, whatever. If he thought it was going out, and so that split second was like, oh crap, it's not going out, and then tried to go after, I don't know. Either way, I really feel like too that both of the goals could have been prevented, and we had so many opportunities and we just either didn't take them or they weren't on target. Like, I feel like it was a game we could have won.
That's a good point, Jessica, because I felt like Epps and Edidokin were like invisible, truly. Like, whenever they had the ball, they second guessed themselves every time. They weren't taking many chances. They were looking, for passing options instead of just taking the shot themselves. Like, there were so many times when they were just like open, and then instead of taking a shot, they decided to dribble forward more, or or let off on a pass where someone wasn't even open.
Right.
So
yeah,
I really wish we could have seen Blessing. I feel like maybe he would have been more decisive. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and then obviously the goal that was called back by Goodrum, that was also frustrating. Because obviously we don't have VAR, and there's yes, it might have hit his hand, but he was also like
getting yanked back.
Yeah. So I just, in that sense, it was, I think, I know we can't, we always talk about how we don't like blaming the refs, but at the same time, there were just some questionable calls.
There definitely were. And, kind of going back to the first goal of Semle, I kept wondering that too. We talked about it because we could see that the whole way. Granted, we're in the stands, and I kind of watched like a couple of the different angles, and I think it's literally he didn't have eyes on it. I think he thought it was going to go to the other post, and I noticed, who was it that was standing right in the way? I can't remember if it was Joe or somebody else, but somebody was like almost screening for like Mukwele Akale to take that shot, and then they jump out of the way, and then there it comes. And I think by that point, like, Oliver was like, oh, it's going to that post, and then it was just too late, which sucked. The second one, it was just bad marking. It was bad marking. 2 runners coming into the box from the left side with nobody around them.
Yeah.
And, like,
left side.
good on Oliver to make that first stop, but, like,
Right.
nobody was there to help him clean that up and get it out of danger zones.
Right.
That really was a bummer. That was one where the defense let him down for sure, because 2 players running into the box like that, you can't be doing that. I know it's crazy and, you know, there's chaos, but you gotta have eyes on those people to make sure that type of stuff doesn't happen, because then they really just put Oliver in a situation where it's like he just made a diving save, and now he has to try and pop back up and then account for 2 runners with the ball. You know?
Right.
That you know, and Coach Mack, he was talking after the game in the interviews, like, we gotta clean up those things. Like, we have to, like, clean up those things that are just killing us, those fine margins, because, I mean, I feel like we brought tons of intensity, especially in the first half. The first half, we were, like, fired up, and
They
it
were
was
trying
so
things
good.
in the first half.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, like, just the adjustments just weren't there, and I'm with you, Dylan. Maybe something was going on with Arturo, but I still don't know why we took him out, because I thought Arturo was doing good.
It was immediately after he came out, too.
Yes. Yes. You know, and then, you know, this isn't like a dogging player session, but I feel like when Medense came in, things almost got worse. You know, Adedekin didn't have like an amazing game, but then I feel like once Medense was in, it just kind of dropped a little bit more, you know, because he was hustling. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like him on the defensive side of things is not the strongest.
Pinned it on a bullet hole.
Yeah, as soon as it requires like a defensive mindset, which I know he's an attacking player, but he's not necessarily a player that's really well equipped with those defensive tools to really help shore things up whenever we're in that type of situation. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's a team situation, no matter what. You know, you can nitpick here and there for this player, that player, whatever. But at the end of the day, the whole team had to be more clinical. We had to get those shots on target that we took. There were so many shots that went over the crossbar, went wide, were right to the keeper. If we had been more clinical with all those different shots, we would have had 4 goals on them, and that would have been fine. We would have been good, but we weren't. And I feel like this was one match where we really, really should have won. Like, we should have, and we didn't, because Lou City just did what they needed to do. You know, they took those wild chances. You know, Akale taking that little dribble shot, you know, like that was just putting into the goal. He just tried it and it worked out in his favor. You know, those runners getting into the box for them. It stings though.
Yeah,
it stings
it really
bad.
does.
Like having to listen to the little brother talk, and then, you know, I still chuckle though about Lou City being like, "What's all that money got you?" And I'm like, please, don't tell me you haven't been spending money. Like, don't take that route. Like sitting there on your like empire that you built 15 years ago or whatever, and like looking down at me like, I can't believe you spent money on players to try and win. Okay, grandpa.
But also it's the first game of the season. Like it's not like, oh, you've lost, or, you know, same old story. We don't know. We have so much ahead of us.
And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the players, like, number one, Lou City celebrated like they just won the championship. So for as much as they make fun of us, it meant something to them, which is really cool. I don't mean that as a slight against them. I mean, like, it's actually showing that it means something to the players. And our players, they were heartbroken, like it was losing a championship, which is, you know, I'm not saying I'm happy they were heartbroken, but I'm kind of happy they were heartbroken. You know what I mean? Because that shows
you're glad to see that they had passion and interest in the game.
It's how bad they wanted
in the club. Yes.
It wasn't just like, well, we lost the opener. Who cares? 33 more to go. It was like, I can't believe we just lost that. Like, what did we do? Like, we got to get this right. So to me, that was encouraging to see from the team, because that indicates a culture that cares, and it actually is going to try their hardest to do this right from here on out. So I hope that care and that passion stays, because I was feeling it. And that made me feel better about the situation overall, because I knew that's not where we were going to just stop. Like we are going to keep going and try and get this right. So tough match. though, to go out like that. But it was a good game. I do have to say, it was a good game. If anybody would watch that and said that it was lame or didn't deliver, you were watching the wrong game, or maybe it just was different in person. Because in person, it felt like everybody was going like million miles an hour, doing everything and anything they could to get that win. So I can say that was a bright side of it all. A lot of new people came out. My buddy had never been to a match. He brought his kids. And he said that, like, he texted me after. He's like, I got to come to more games. And I was like, well, I'm not going to lie to you. Not every game is quite that level. And he's like, no, that's okay. That was a good enough time that we're definitely sold on this, which unfortunately too, like, I have to confess, I don't know if I put this into the universe. Right before that first goal, I saw Akale kind of like trailing out to the left. And I looked at him and I said, watch this guy. He's going to do something and we're not going to like it. And then he immediately got the ball and cut in and scored that goal. And he was like, huh, you called that? And I was like, I wish I didn't. Because I wasn't necessarily saying he was going to score. I was just like, he's going to do something dangerous. And yeah, it was.
So it's Tyler's fault is what I heard.
It was my fault. I must have spoken it into existence. He must have felt like
the energy.
Just me, saying a fact as like some sort of belief in him. He even made eye contact with me.
Yeah, he literally looked in your direction.
He did. He was looking into my soul when he was celebrating. And I was like, did you do that? Did you do that to me?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Like, I even had a moment where I kind of looked around and I was like, who's he looking at?
Yeah.
And then
he's like, that was for you, Tyler.
Yeah. It's like, have you
I
seen
thought that's what you wanted.
Right? It reminded me of that video clip. I don't know if you guys, I'm pretty sure it was a Philly player. So I'm sure you know, Dylan, but like where he's like walking on the sidelines and like pointing to everybody in the stands and basically being like, F you. Yeah. Get that guy. F you too. And like,
I think it might be LaShawn McCoy.
It might be, but
yeah.
And he's like pretending to laugh with him and then just being like, F you. And I'm like, he just did that to me.
Yeah.
He just did that to me. I took that personally. We're both from Minnesota. Why has he got to be that way? Yeah, that sucked. Yeah, it is what it is. And,
go
ahead, Jess.
No, I was just going to say, I had a thought, and now I'm trying to remember what it was. So you say your thought.
No, I will.
I remember.
I feel
you go ahead.
encouraged despite the result, though. Like, go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, well, and along those lines, that I know we're disappointed in the result, but at the same time, when you compare how well and it's easy to look at the game and feel like we did really bad, but I feel like compared to last season, we really have raised the bar.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. It is definitely encouraging moving forward.
100%. I agree with you. And then I think we do have to point out too, and this is kind of related to the game, but kind of not. I don't know how many people that listen to this probably are aware, but just in case you're not, I know there was some confusion with like general fans about like the moment of they called it moment of stillness, I think.
Oh,
that's moment of silence at the beginning, where all the players were standing there and they said the match was in delay. That is in regard to the CBA discussions that are going on. So if you are not super in the know, there were kind of some questions going around whether or not games were going to happen this weekend, because players have been authorized to strike while they try and get what they deserve as professionals. And unfortunately, not all ownership groups are on board with that. By all accounts, ours is taking care of our players. So definitely grateful for that our ownership group, from what we've heard, is making sure our players are taken care of. But at the same time, all players have to stand in solidarity because they're professionals together. Not everybody's going to be at LSC forever. So they got to make sure that if they go to another team, that they're taken care of as professionals. They deserve healthcare. They deserve benefits. They deserve, pay that actually takes care of their families. So we here at CKL absolutely support the players in those regards. They definitely deserve to be treated as professionals and get all of the things that entails. So we are hoping that the league and any ownership groups that are holding out figure this out and make sure that they make it right for the players. So we'll see where it goes from here, though. things are still up in the air for week 2. You never know until this stuff gets finally ironed out. Which, if you're concerned, because somebody did ask me this too, they're like, well, how come we're not hearing about things like this with the women's side? That's because the women have a separate CBA. So it is not the same CBA. It's in a different realm. So as of right now, there's no chatter about dissatisfaction with them and their CBA, to my knowledge. But who knows if that'll change, right? But anywho, okay. Next time we'll get them. Yeah. Next time Commonwealth Cup is ours.
Yeah, you guys were saying you're feeling pretty good. I do feel pretty good as well overall. I feel good, but I'm also like really disappointed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think because I know this is a good squad, right? I know we have a good set of talented players on this team, and I just know that we can do a lot, and it just sucks that we had to have this big game as our first match, and it sucks that it ended up in this way. I do like Mac as a coach. I believe in him. I think he can definitely, but he set a high bar for himself as well. So,
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah. You're not wrong. I totally agree. Yeah, definitely disappointed, but.
Yeah. Oh, well. Next time. What, in July? It's like July 11th. Is that right? Am I making that up in my brain?
Let me see. Yeah, July 11th.
We got time. We will have found our stride by then.
And I thought you were joking and saying like, when's the next like men's match? And I was like, July 11th.
July 11th. Yeah. Join us at the stables for the next. We're taking a hiatus to figure things out. Actually, that's a bad joke. I wish you hadn't said that, Dylan, because if happens, then it might be July 11th. Oh no! Let's hope not. Let's hope they get what they deserve quickly. Yeah. I just realized that kind of sounded like hostile. Like, I hope they get what they deserve. I mean, like, literally, their professional standards are met. Yeah. But hey, on the bright side, we also get to talk about the women's team today too, which was
also disappointing
as well. Hey, but before the match, let's get some like recognition out there. Let's do the good vibe thing. Team of the month. We had Team of the Month announced, which was Allison Pantuso, Catherine Berry, Mackenzie Weiner. All 3 of them made Team of the Month, which is really, really cool to see our team continue to get recognition for individual contributions to our collective. So congrats to all 3 of them. I'm sure this won't be the last time we see them on that list or any other green. Because we got a bunch of ballers, right? So that was cool. The other thing that was cool is, well, unfortunately, we were missing Amina Ekic today because she's away on international duty. But the good side of that is in her game that she recently played against Liechtenstein, she had 2 goals and 4 assists. 2 goals and 4 assists in that match in a 13-1 victory. So Amina was cooking. We're wishing her the best with her team away from her team, while she continues to represent her country, which is a super cool thing for all players to be able to do. We've talked to so many players before, and they all have the same sentiment that it's awesome to be able to be called up into those squads and get that opportunity. So I hope she scores 1 million more goals while she's with them, and then comes back here ready to score 1 million goals, because we need 1 million goals, clearly.
Yeah.
Because today we did not score any goals. What a segue. What a segue that was. Yeah, no goals today. Man. Okay. Now this one, I don't want to say it stings more than the men's match, because it doesn't. But in some ways, it does. The first half, would you have ever dreamed that we would have lost that match? Looking at the first half.
No.
We were absolutely bullying Dallas. Like, it wasn't even like 50-50. You know what I mean? Like, you look out on the field and you're like, are they even playing? And it makes it feel worse that we didn't capitalize on the fact that we were bullying them and score.
Right.
We could not get anything in the net, despite the fact that they could not handle us.
Right.
Like, objectively. Like, if you were a neutral fan and you're watching that first half, you're thinking like, Dallas is 1,000,000% outmatched.
They only had like 3 touches in an hour and a half for like a 20-minute stretch, you know.
Yeah.
We had overall 14 shots and only 4 were on goal.
Mm-hmm. That hurt.
It really did.
I mean, like, they could not do anything. And the second half, we start seeing players come into the mix, right? Like Cameron Lancaster comes out there. Was Allie Thornton? She comes in there. Like all these impact players. So I even like joked with you guys. I was like, I feel like they were just playing their B squad for the first half and just telling them to absorb pressure until we get worn out. And then they put in their A team in the second half to try and finish us off.
Which I mean,
because yeah, go ahead.
Good. I mean, in that sense, like good strategy because it obviously worked.
Right.
Yeah, it worked for them, but it felt like what was working for us was our speed. We were way faster than them, and using players like Mackenzie is like you know, she's great at that. She can beat anyone, right? And there were so many opportunities for her in the first half that, you know, her speed was allowing her to get. And then we took her off, and I felt like she still had more in the tank, and I feel like we lost a lot taking her off the field in that, you know. Yeah, I felt like we also missed Hannah Sharts, you know, like defensively, obviously, she's very, very good, but the throw in game, you know, she's unmatched at that. You know, it provides a whole new dimension to our team, being able to, you know, just sit up anywhere in the opponent's half and being able to get it into the box and then allowing one of our players to score. Literally, it just puts all of our players up there, and we didn't have like any of those opportunities like we usually do, which is, you know, very, very unfortunate. And I mean, I asked Coach Kaz in the post game, and he said, you know, players have to rest and stuff. And, you know, I do understand that as a valid excuse, right? You know, we do have so many players, but in this instance, I don't really buy it considering all the other players on the field. And, you know, Alicia Bourgeois, she plays like basically every minute, every game, and she, you know, is running up and down the field, doing twice the amount of running as, you know, a center back would. And she's not, you know, she's always started. Or, you know, Kat Berry, she's missed, or she's not started like one game. You know, we haven't seen Hannah White start in a game. You know, I just feel like that excuse is not really jiving with me in this instance. And plus, another reason for him was timing. Well, we don't have a match for a week and a half. There's plenty of time for people to rest. You know, I don't feel like we put ourselves in a good position to win this game. And I also think the too many lineup changes may have had a factor in the quality of the team and the consistency. You know, we're used to only making like 1 or 2 changes, right? And we're still clicking, but we made so many changes, and then those things weren't clicking like they normally do. Like, you know, maybe those chances where Kenzie and Kat were taking shots, maybe they fall in, you know, I don't know. It's just the vibes were not there today. And it really sucks to be losing 2 in a row when we were undefeated previously. Like, it just feels like it feels really hard. It feels like we could hit a decline. Like, it feels very like next match for me is a must win. Like, no draw at all. Must win.
I totally agree.
I really enjoyed the performance from the players that we saw today, like their first time featuring for us. So, you know, Allie and Daria, I thought they did phenomenal out there. I think I agree as far as like switching out Hannah Sharts, you know, because I know that I'd gotten wind that Allie Brown had done great in that NWSL friendly against Chicago. And so it seems like maybe they're like, all right, let's see what you could do for us out here in the Super League, that would have been okay with me if we had won our last match. And they were like, you know what? Let's see what happens. I'm just on the whole a big proponent of if you have two center backs that work well together, you do not change that. If there is one spot on the field that you do not mess around with, it's really like your center backs and your keepers. Like those two, like unless it is a dire circumstance or some type of extenuating circumstance that it's out of your control, which maybe there is something that was out of control of the coaching staff. I don't know, but I don't love changing up center back pairings, especially when they work and they're strong together. Yeah, it was weird for me, and I don't think that was necessarily our fatal flaw today. I don't think that's what did us in. Like I think what did us in was honestly us on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah. Because if we had actually been clinical with our shots, we probably wouldn't even be caring so much about the defensive side. You know, we'd be like, oh, we let a goal in, but hey, we won by 3 because we got those shots in the back of the net. I think this is completely a game where it's like if our offense had delivered, we would not have lost. And our defense held out for as long as they did. It was unfortunate that goal happened. I mean, props to Dallas. They did that little dummy move perfectly in the box and just let the ball slide right past a couple players and somebody was ready to send it in. And, you know, that's hard to defend no matter what. So, you know, as much as I think Sharts probably should have started still because I like to keep that connection, you know, my personal preference. I don't really think that was what did us in the long run. You know, I agree with you, Dylan, though, like missing her long throws. You know, maybe that would have changed some things if we had gotten those in the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also wonder, too, because I feel like there's been like a match or two recently where she's taken fewer and fewer. And that could be just a coaching thing. But also maybe like it's wear and tear on her body. The way she chucks that ball, that has to be catching up with her at some point because you do that for so many games. Like your body's going to start to feel it. So maybe it was like, hey, we want you to slow down on that because we don't need you like tearing your shoulder out of the socket or something crazy with the way that you sling that rock. But yeah, I just wish we had been able to capitalize on a lot of those chances because Dallas really wasn't that team. You know, with the Lou City and the men's team, we could say, all right, you know, that sucked. But Lou City played hard. At the end of the day, they might have deserved that. And I hate to say deserve because in sports, like there really is no deserve. You either win or you lose, and that's kind of it. But at the same time, Dallas didn't deserve that win. No. They were getting bullied for so much of the game. That was literally us not doing what we should be doing and not being clinical enough. And it stinks because that's a second in a row. And it's nothing to like start ringing the alarm bells. But you do start thinking like, man, another one down the drain when we already had people nipping at our heels. You know, I'm not concerned about us making the playoffs. Like, I feel like that you could pretty comfortably say playoffs are in our future. Player Shield, though, when you're saying like, hey, I want to win both. Now you start being like, okay, we got to get a win on this next one. Like you said, Dylan, like if we're going to talk Player Shield, we have to get another win at this very next match against Dallas. And we're kind of in a unique opportunity, right? Like in a unique situation where we got to play them and we're going to play them in 10 days. So it's going to be back to back. So as long as we make those quick adjustments, I think that we have them. I don't think they're the type of team that's going to come out, tiers above what we saw today. I think we're the type of team that could be tiers above what we saw today because if we are finishing our chances, we're up 5, and that's it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like we went from beating Dallas 6-1 to tying them 1-1 to losing 1-0. So like, I think we need to take a hard look and see what Dallas changed and what we've changed and figure out how to break past that because I'm not a fan of today. And I also agree with the lineup. I feel like we have changed too much and I'm very much if it's not broken, don't fix it. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, you got it.
Sorry.
You're good on your idioms. Don't worry. Your idiom game is strong.
Nice, thanks. And
It's not nice to call just an idiot.
Idiom, Dylan.
On International Women's Day, Tyler. Come on, dude.
I'm gonna think of a mean idiom for you in a second if you don't calm down, Dylan.
Yeah, and obviously with Coach Cos taking over, that's already one big change that we have. Yeah. And bringing in new players this spring, and I feel like I'm thinking back to last season when Brooklyn was at the top and then just plummeted. And
Spokane did their flip-flop, but it was in reverse.
Right. And so I think the additions to the team are good, but I think we were already a pretty well-oiled machine, and I don't know. I think we're doing too much.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I agree with that. And I really like Coach Cos. I do. I believe in him. I think that, he's been put in a very difficult situation because he's taken over a team that was undefeated. So that pressure has got to be insane. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't imagine somebody being like, hey, mid-season, you're taking over this team, hasn't lost at all. Keep that going. And I know he was a big part of that. It's not like he just came out of nowhere. Right. So he was a piece of that whole success story. So it's not like he doesn't have a name on that. But yeah, it's got to be tough. And I also understand, like, as a coach, wanting to kind of tweak things to be your vision and your style, because as much as you might be similar with your head coach, you're going to have differences. You're going to think like, well, actually, I kind of feel like this might work out for us. But yeah, if we had a perfect world, I think messing a little less with things would be good. And even today, like, I thought Sarah Griffith played super hard. I thought she had a good game until her legs got tired. And I almost feel like she should have been subbed out before Kinsey.
Yes.
And then Kinsey later, because Kinsey, she goes kind of crazy, right? It's like she's constantly making those super intense runs, and that wears on you for sure. But I feel like, Sarah hasn't gotten a chance to start. The last couple of matches she started today because we're missing Amina. At least you assume that's probably the reason. Not that she's not deserving, right? But I think that maybe she burned out a little bit before Kinsey did. And so that could have been maybe a flip-flop. But I don't know. I'm not on the sidelines and I'm not talking to the players. So again, could be circumstances that I'm not privy to that required that change up. It just really stinks, that we put ourselves in a situation to try and stave off those goals in those final seconds. And we just didn't make it happen. They got us, We're not done yet. We're still in a good position, but we can't keep faltering, especially whenever during our undefeated streak, most of that was from draws. So we weren't exactly racking up dozens of points at a time.
Right.
And now we're kind of putting ourselves into another precarious situation, On paper, looks great, but then in practice, you have a few questions that need to be answered, and we have to get it right, especially against Dallas, because again, I don't think that they have the tactics or the personnel to go against a prepared version of us or a fully healthy version of us. I just don't see it. The only team that, I've seen this season that I'm like, they kind of give me pause is obviously Carolina. They're able to do their thing. Spokane can kind of go toe to toe with us, at least kind of stave us off, if anything else. And then Jacksonville obviously has shown that they can do their thing. So those are the only three that I'm like, yeah, their personnel and their style of play, those are ones that we have to prepare extra for. Dallas just isn't it.
I mean,
that should be a win.
Yeah.
But at the same time, their points tell another story because they have 27 points now, and we've played 18 games. They've only played 17. Yeah. So, I mean, they are still pretty dangerous.
They're not a bad team per se, but like when
for us.
When you look at them on the field, like we're just a better unit. Like you saw it in the first half. They could not contain anything that we had. We just couldn't finish anything,
Yeah. I see that.
Yeah, that's more what I was like trying to get at.
I gotcha.
Not necessarily they're a bad team. It's just
we're better
matchup wise.
Yeah.
I feel like we had the edge on their style, and so. Gosh, what a bummer to have like double loss this weekend in the way that we lost, like both of them kind of in the dying embers of the game after flying high, and feeling good about things.
I hate that feeling though of knowing, like getting towards the end and just being like, oh my gosh, there's not that much time left.
Yep.
What's going to happen? Like just knowing, because that's the crazy thing about soccer is it can drop or like change at the drop of a hat, like so fast.
Right.
And so I feel like my Garmin stats from this weekend would be like, you had a really stressful weekend.
He's like, yeah, I did. And honestly, like the reffing crew on this didn't help. They were whack. Like,
oh my gosh,
you touch a Dallas player and it was immediate whistle, and then like we would see them do some crazy stuff to our players and nothing. Like I don't know what it is with us and our bad luck with refs, because we've said this before. We're not sitting here trying to be like, woe is me, refs are bad, because everybody's like, well, yeah, that's just the refs in the league. Yes, but like be consistently bad. Be bad for everybody. Like stop just being bad for us. Be bad for both teams and make us all mad at least, instead of just making one side mad. It just that stings it even more, But I think we can get right. I'm actually pretty hopeful that we're going to be playing them again right after losing. I think we'll clean it up. I think we'll be fine. Like it's okay. It's
Watch
okay.
Out for those dummy passes in front of the goal.
Yeah. Just got to take a deep breath and just.
They were working on those in warm-ups. I said that to you guys after the.
You should have told Kat
after they scored, but that was like the thing they were working on. That was like their goal in warm-ups was dummy passes. And
Dylan couldn't even warn him because he can't just yell dummy, because then he's always heckling the players anyway. So they probably would
everyone would have just looked,
Yeah. They'd be like, yeah, they are dummy. And he's like, no, literally, they're doing a dummy. And they're like, yeah, they are dummy. It's like, no, just dummy run. And they're like, what? Yeah, that dummy is running. You're right. No. So he dug himself into that hole. Yeah, gosh, just a pair of frustrating games. And I forgot, we didn't even bring up, sorry to backtrack on you guys. We didn't even bring up much about like the whole good room handball.
Oh yeah.
Thing. Sorry, just talking about frustration.
Kind of touched on it, but
I know, but like, do we think it was like legit? How are we feeling? I'm torn because all the angles are bad, but then I saw one of LSC's photographers post on their personal account,
and it's like
a clear picture of him getting yanked down and the ball hitting his forearm, but he's in the middle of like falling because he's getting pulled down. And so they always say, like, well, your arm's in a natural position. And it's like, well, if you're getting yanked to the ground, that's your natural position. Your arms are going to go in the air because you're like, what the heck's happening to me?
I know.
Jeez.
That made me so mad.
That'll be like one of our conspiracies, our team conspiracies forever. Like, was it actually a handball? Probably was, but still, in my mind, I'm like, that was bogus. He was getting manhandled in the box, and like, what's he supposed to do?
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, the worst. All right. So the women, we already said playing Dallas next. I already said I think we got them. What do you guys think? We got them?
I think we got them. I think we'll clean it up.
It's a must win.
Must win comeback season.
I'm
stamping it, putting your seal of approval on this dub. And then for the men, our next match is home, so that's actually this weekend. So the women, it's like all the way next Wednesday. Feels like forever away. 10 days. The men are playing Sacramento at home though. So Sacramento, I don't know where they ended up. Yeah, they got a 2-0 right against Tulsa, if I'm not mistaken.
That scares me.
It seems like they're firing on all cylinders, but here's why I'm not scared. Like, we just played our most intense match right up front. You know what I mean? There's not going to be another match that's quite that charged until we get to like later on down the road, in my mind. And so for us to do what we did and hold our own for so much of the match, a few different decisions, a few different like things of like, hey, we got to practice making sure we clean this and this up. Like for instance, covering the left side in the box. We clean up those couple things. I feel okay about this. I'm not super stressed about what's coming our way with them. Of course you got to take it seriously, and I'm sure that everybody's going to. So I don't mean to make light of Sacramento, but I also don't feel like I've got alarm bells going off, being like, "Oh man, we're gonna like falter again." And a lot of that comes from that passion that I saw from the players that I already spoke of. I know this isn't going to be our rivalry match, but I think that they've already shown that they believe there's more at stake this season in game one than what we've seen from some teams in the past in like the 10th game, 12th game, 30th game. Think about everybody going through the motions to get against Oakland for the last game of the season last year. Everybody was just kind of like, lightly jogging around the field, like, all right, whatever happens, happens. There goes Wilson to score again. And there's just none of that vibe right now. So, that Sacramento game is going to be tough. That's a dub, though. That's a dub. I'm getting tree points.
3 points.
Planted in the yard. Dylan, did you raise your eyebrows at me?
Oh my gosh.
I love how Dylan, you wanted to be like, why are you this way? But Jessica started laughing so hard that you couldn't help but laugh. That's the best. That's the
Validated.
best. Yes. If you can get enough people doing it to get the skeptics, then you're good.
Oh, and wait, promos. I think it's $1.50 beer night, isn't it?
Yes.
It is. It's $1.50 beer night.
Oh man.
Ooh, and a giveaway LSD baseball jersey.
Yeah, I got you. Oh yeah, that's right. The baseball jersey. I forgot about that too. I don't like baseball, but I like the jersey.
They sent a picture of it out in their email, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it does.
It's gonna be. I think it'll be nice.
I'm on board with it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be. Really
cool. I am as well.
You mentioning that this is our $1.50 beer night. That was another funny thing that a Louisville fan tried to flex on us about. They were like, "Yeah, people only come out when it's $1.50 beer night," and I was like, "You're just mad because you pay like $10 for yours." We actually have promos. Like, stay mad. We might lose, but hey, we're gonna have a good time.
They can't even fill their stadium, So what are they? How can they even talk?
Have a giant stadium and then you don't even have it packed.
Yeah, no.
Could never be us. No, but hey, that's cool. We got double promos going on. Does it say for the baseball jerseys how many they got?
It's like
2,000. First 2,000 fans.
That's pretty good.
That's a good amount.
That's
really amount. Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2K is you got a pretty solid chance of getting one of those bad boys. All right.
I do hope that they have them actually set up at both.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. That was unfair.
I realized the shirt giveaway. I think the shirt giveaway from Friday was. I think they only had one table because they were being given out by Central Kentucky Bank. Weren't they being given out? Like, wasn't it a sponsor?
I don't know.
I think it was a sponsor giveaway. That's probably why they only had the one table.
That makes sense. Yeah, I'm with you though, because sometimes I feel like they do a good job of putting promo stuff at the gate that's leading into the supporter section, and then sometimes there's nothing, and so then you have to like enter that gate and go all the way down.
I want the giveaway.
Yeah, I know, right? Like I'm just like, just put it right here, please. So hopefully, that's a good shout, Jessica. I hope that they end up putting those right there for people that use that gate, because there's quite a few of us. I know it's not necessarily as popular as the main entrance, but I mean, almost your whole supporter section is coming in through there, and like,
and our the supporter section are also season ticket holders. Like, they're your people that you want happy.
Yeah,
you want them to keep getting those season tickets.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, and also that reminds me, the T-shirt cannon comes back. Fire a few boys into the supporter section.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, not like don't come within 10 feet of us because I know we're closer to the field than everybody else, but maybe from 30 yards
from
out.
A distance.
Or even like not even the T-shirt cannon. Like, have other people, like have someone that's throwing T-shirts to all areas. Like Come on.
Yeah.
It does feel like the supporter section, we get treated like peasants a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's just because a lot of times it's like we already got the supporter section. They're in our clutches. They're not going anywhere.
We want free stuff too, man.
But even like at the women's game today, we didn't even have concessions open on our side. You know, like if we wanted to get concessions, we would have to walk all the way down to the other side. When, like, honestly, most of the people who are in the stands are in the supporter section at the women's games. So please, like, help us out.
Yeah.
Or give us like cool transportation. Like have a dude with an oldie time motorcycle and a little sidecar that I can sit in. And then the guy like drives me to the other side. and then there's like a drive-through window, and I'm like, I'll have one hot dog, please. And here you go, sir. And then he just drives me back and drops me off. And I get to ride in a sidecar. How cool is that? It's just a thought. Don't worry. Or real horses, but that's a lot of cleanup.
And I tried to get picked for the halftime race, and they said they were only picking college students, and I was offended.
That's ageism. Ageism.
Like, say, hey, yeah, I'm enrolled.
In the last year, she played rec soccer and ran a 5K, and they were just afraid of your power. That's all it was. They knew you were going to win and make those children feel bad about themselves.
I mean, honestly, though, what would be more entertaining? College kids doing that race, or like our like millennials, you know? Like, let's be real.
Think of the waiver they would have to make us sign, though. They're like, okay, here's your waiver, and it's like 2 sentences, and then like, wait a second, are you over 30? Like, yeah, and then they hand you another one that's like a packet. Like, sign each of these. And they're like, why? Just because I'm over 30? And they're like, look, Tyler mentioned his hamstring 42 times on the pod. We're not taking any chances. We know about your generation. You guys are done for. Oh man, yeah, for real. Like, I'm sorry, Jessica. I would have rooted for you. I know you would have won. Half of them were only like barely running too. Like I know you would have like put on like the afterburners. You would have gone like full Kinsey.
I would have made it fun too. You know, like
you would have done a cartwheel.
I feel like college kids they take it too seriously. Make it fun.
They get embarrassed. Yeah. Hey, but I guess maybe if you had done it on like $1.50 beer night, it would have been more entertaining no matter who you put out there.
That's true. That is true.
We'll get Tim out there.
Oh my god. And do like Dizzy Bat too. That'd be great.
My gosh.
Oh, man.
Yeah. The entertainment factor would increase tenfold. That's for sure. Hey, thoughts for the future though, right? One day they'll get it. Okay. I think that covers everything. All the sadness, the little bit of happiness that's sprinkled in there very, very sparsely. All right, like just like a pinch of salt.
A lot of pain.
Hey, but it's okay. It's okay.
It's still we're gonna come back. Be a green.
It is. It's just a bump on the road. We're gonna be fine. We have great teams. We have great coaches. We have amazing fans. Like, what else are you gonna ask for? The concessions to be open by the supporters section.
That
Dylan, I said it for you. I saw you
saying that.
Yeah. I knew one of you was gonna say it. I'm sorry.
I was thinking it.
Should have paused and let you do it. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. All right. So women's match is away next Wednesday. All we can really do is watch from home, or any type of gathering like Jack Brown's might be. And then, of course, we got home match against Sacramento this weekend, and the Sacramento one, I know it's completely different from last year, but that kind of gets me hyped too, because that's that game that Brooks Thompson had that insane match. You guys remember that? And then I did that whole like crazy video cut of him like saving 42 shots. Yeah. I made him his own personal hype video.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know it's going to be very different, but hey, maybe we'll get some cool highlights from this one as well from our keepers, or
hopefully goal highlights.
Yeah, strikers. Philip Goodrum gets a hat trick. Aaron Malloy sends one from the 55. Chips the keeper because for whatever reason he's
a wizard,
absolutely insane, and just takes a shot from anywhere and it goes in and acts like it's nothing. Like, have you ever done anything so effortless in your life as Aaron Malloy has sent a pass or taken a shot from some wild angle or distance. Never. You know what I mean? Like nothing. Can't even butter toast that easily. So he's the man. All right, guys. Well, we got lots of LSC action coming up. It's just the beginning of the season for the men. The women's season, it's weird.
We got 2 teams at the same time.
It's great. I'm loving this. I'm loving all the action. So hopefully
pitch a tent in the parking lot and just
live on the field.
Live there.
Yeah. Let's live in the goal. Let's put a tarp over the netting, and then
you live in the barn.
Hey, that's even better.
Yeah,
let's go. The press box, if you want to see the stars at night, wherever you want to be. All right, we got to wrap this up. Time changes, doing weird things, and couple that with a pair of losses, and here we are. Okay, guys. Just the point being, come out to the men's match this weekend. Try and get yourself that baseball jersey, $1.50 beer night. Come have some fun. Bring all your friends. Let's try and get these attendance numbers insane this year. Yes, we need to really pack the stadium. Like I want this Lou City stuff. Of course, Lou City's probably always going to be like our number one attended match. But if we can get like within the realm of that for other matches, that would be super sick. I think we could do that. We're building year after year. We're making it happen. Until then, this weekend, we'll see you there. You know what it is. Come on, you Greens.